get broken in life, but at the broken parts, you become stronger. And I'm sure you understand that as a doctor.
Absolutely, sir. These broken parts, they become stronger, and you as a human being become strongest.
You learn, as we said earlier, you learn from things which are good and things which are bad, probably more. Winston Churchill said you learn from your failures more than your victories. Respect the other, respect the person you don't know, respect the person who is in a different situation from you.
Professor Jonathan McFarland, who is the president of Doctor as a Humanist. Welcome to the show, Professor Jonathan McFarland. Namaste.
Namaste, Dr. Vaishali. It's a real honor to be here, and it's also a real honor to be in SMBT, a Medical Institute and Research Institute. It's a privilege to have been invited by Dr. Minal and her team, and more than anything, it's a privilege to be talking with you today and giving you some of my ideas. Maybe wisdom isn't too nice a word, but I will give you my ideas and my suggestions. So first of all, namaste and thank you very much.
Namaste, thank you, sir. To begin with the very first core thing, the name of this concept called as Doctor as a Humanist. So what does it mean to be humanism in medicine? And what was that pivotal moment in your life which triggered you to establish this kind of movement or this kind of an organization?
It's a beautiful question. First of all, it's a beautiful question. Secondly, some questions are not so easy to answer, but I will give you ideas. I've been brought up in a medical family, but I studied humanity. So I've been very often talking and thinking about the connection between humanism and medicine, because it seems to me it's like a glove and a hand. It goes together, it fits. And a pivotal moment probably was when I was in Mallorca. My father had a heart attack, and he was in the intensive care unit. And possibly that moment I was on a bus going back from the hospital, and I thought, medicine is lacking something. And I think medicine is lacking the connection with the person. So more or less like that. But it's a long time kind of fermenting in my brain.
So was there any critical moment that you experienced while he was going through the heart attack? Was that any behavior that you experienced in the ICU or in the hospital that made you think like this, that yes, this is missing somewhere?
I don't think it was a particular moment in terms of the heart attack of my father. I don't think it's any specific moment. I think it's a natural procession or progression, a natural feeling that they went together, and that he as a surgeon was always very humanistic with his patients.
Great.
So maybe I saw that this was lacking. Another moment, which maybe there are little moments. I said there's like little moments. Everything has the paths are not direct. The paths take many ways. I went with my father to see a doctor, and we both tried to shake hands with the doctor, but the doctor was looking at the computer. And I thought, this is not the way to respect a patient.
Yeah.
So that's another moment.
But they say that some wrong things when they happen to us, they are the beginning of some right things happening in our life. I consider it like this, that something went wrong which made you think in a very right manner. That's really
It's
great
very
to know.
true. It's very true. You are a teacher, professor, and you know very well that you teach and you explain to your students, your medical students, the same with me, that you learn from mistakes.
Yes.
And you learn from other people's mistakes.
Yes.
And you learn from really bad moments in your life.
Yes.
And this somehow makes you stronger. The famous writer Ernest Hemingway said, you get broken in life, but at the broken parts, you become stronger. And I'm sure you understand that as a doctor.
Yes, absolutely, sir. These broken parts, they become stronger, and you as a human being become strongest.
I think so. I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So So moving ahead, I would like to ask one more thing, sir. With this rapid evolution of medicine and medical technologies, we are becoming very much sound. The doctors are being trained to be accurate and meticulous.
Yeah.
But at the same time, one thing that we are lacking is that human values or humanity seem to be fading. Though we are connected to the entire world so quickly through the social media and so many other platforms, but on the contrary to that, people seem to be busy and disconnected. Why this is happening, and how do you view this challenge?
It's an enormous challenge, and the question you ask me is, I think, at the crux of the matter. And I think that's probably why SMBT and why myself and Doctors of Humanist and different universities and a lot of people around the world see this as the moment. Because of the technological advances, which are fantastic, but I think maybe we are at a moment that we need to restore this connection between people. It's very interesting you asked the question as well about disconnection and people feeling maybe misplaced or people feeling lonely. And this is another pandemic. We've been through one pandemic not so long ago. I don't think we have learned from what happened in the pandemic. Yeah. I think people have forgotten very quickly. Yeah. But the big pandemic now is loneliness. Yeah. And so we need to reconnect with ourselves and with each other. And medicine is at the core of society. So doctors, like yourself, have an enormous responsibility, but a beautiful privilege to teach humans, and not only humans, to reconnect with themselves and with each other. When I say not only humans, it's something I also feel very strongly about, because I feel that we as human beings need to connect with the natural world around us, which is part of us, and we are part of it, and also with our fellow human beings. So it's a very complex entanglement and interwoven situation, which is so important.
But then how we go ahead with it, how we correct the situation, or how do we take up this challenge?
We take up this challenge because there are people like you, and there are people like me, and there are people like Dr. Minal, and there are people like Dr. Sandip, Dr. Rakesh, Dr. Anil, Dr. Akash, all of the people who have brought me here. So this is a beautiful moment. Why? Because I believe there are so many people who believe in similar ways that you do and I do. Yeah. I'll give you a little example. Yeah. From yesterday evening. I was sitting outside, it was a bit windy, a piece of paper like that won't because there's no wind, but a piece of paper flew onto the ground, and a girl, a student, came running and gave it to me, and she said, "Thank you very much for the speech yesterday." And I said, "Hey, tell me, what did you really enjoy about the speech?" And she said, "The emphasis of hope." And she was a physiotherapy student, and she said, "We need hope."
Yes.
We need little moments of hope. I need to give you hope, and you need to give me hope.
Sure.
This is the connection.
Yeah, it makes you optimistic and looking forward for the better future, right?
Very much so. We spoke about this before.
Yes.
If you smile, you feel good, and you make others feel good.
Yes. Absolutely.
If you have a little bit of optimism, you can share that optimism with others.
Yes. And it's so infectious that it spreads all around.
It's very interesting you say the word infectious, because COVID was an infectious disease.
Yes.
Which was a result probably of the human destruction of the natural environment. But I have a friend who's a professor of philosophy who says that the medical humanities is the good infection.
Yeah.
So we need to implant the good infection in the people around us.
It's a good infection to have, very healthy infection.
Yeah, very healthy infection. Yeah, but you know very well that inside in a microbiota we are 10% Jonathan McFarland.
Yeah.
and 90% organisms around. So we're being infected all the time.
Sure, absolutely. So with this, I would like to know more about, can you share some example of humanism practice that has impacted your life deeply and profoundly? So that our audience can also relate to it and they can also feel that yes, it is practicable, it is practicable, and yes, it helps.
Well, there are many things. I think illness teaches you. I have had a series of operations. Some operations went well, others went not so well. But I feel it's a learning lesson. You learn, as we said earlier, you learn from things which are good and things which are bad, probably more. Winston Churchill said you learn from your failures more than your victories. But it made me understand that one of the most important human values is respect the other person. Respect the other, respect the person you don't know, respect the person who is in a different situation from you. I believe that in society in general we're losing this and we need to restore this. So maybe learning from my illness, but also learning that you don't need to do too much to help another person. I have a story about, and I talked about it yesterday, about a friend of mine who's an old woman, 88, and when I went to see her in the hospital, all I needed to do was hold her hand. And she, even though she was fading into unconsciousness, I am sure, and you will tell me, I am sure she felt the presence, my presence. You don't need to do more than that. Just touching a person, helping a person. It's easy.
So a small act of humanism can impact deeply and it can create a very big positive changes in somebody's life. That's what you mean to say, sir?
I mean to say that is exactly. You as teachers, we set an example. So one act of kindness can help not only that person, but that person can then relay to family or members, etc. But it's a little seed of hope, happiness, of goodwill to the other person. I believe this very strongly.
Yes. So now that we know that a small gesture can help somebody in a very big manner, so reviving this humanism is the need of the hour in the current scenario, as you said about the pandemic. So one practical application, how can we do better to the society? How can we bring this humanism for the betterment of society today, and what could be the modalities or approaches that you would suggest to implement it practically in the day-to-day routine practice, not only for doctors and patients, but literally every human being?
Well, technology is very important. Our mobiles are very important. We need to, if we don't know where our mobile is, we feel a little lost. However, there's the other side of the coin. And I think that we need to relearn sometimes to do without the mobile.
Yes.
We need to relearn to start reading paper books or start writing with a pen. How many students, if you have a list, how many students have a pen in the classroom? I can tell you, none, zero.
Yeah.
So I had to give the pen to write.
Yes.
These are little things. We have to disconnect ourselves from what we see on a screen and concentrate more on the person you have next to you.
Yes.
And just speak with this person. This is one example, and this is an example in society, because we're being it's very difficult to know what is happening to us with this revolution technological revolution with the social media, etc., etc. I don't know. I don't have the answer. I don't know what's going to happen. But I'm sure we need to sometimes just say, forget about this. Let's talk.
Yeah.
Let's chat like we're talking. We're conversing now.
Yes.
And you're learning a little bit about me. I'm learning a little bit about you. We are finding a connection in between.
Yeah.
It's not difficult.
So best thing that we can offer to someone is our time, and most importantly, I think undivided attention to that person.
Yes.
Being present to that person.
Yes, it's beautiful. You say exactly the right things. And this, in terms of medicine, is very easy to implement.
Yeah.
So imagine I'm the doctor this time and you're the patient, and you are suffering, you are vulnerable, you feel fragile, you feel lonely, nervous, many things. If I can sit down next to you and say, how are you? How are you feeling? Tell me, what are your worries? Would you like some water? A doctor can do this.
Yes.
It's 5 seconds. A doctor can go to the door, open the door for the patient. That gesture says a lot about the doctor.
Yeah.
Opening the door, saying, come in, welcome. How many doctors do that nowadays?
Really.
I don't know. I don't know.
Just like you mentioned about non-verbal communication in yesterday's masterclass, I can relate to it now.
It's a very easy thing to do. And also it's very important, the posture.
Yeah.
So for example, one of the difficulties is the computer screen. So you are the doctor, you see me as a patient, you have a computer screen between us. You cannot pay attention to me. But what do? You take the screen, put the screen over there. You bring the chair next to me.
Yes.
And the whole relationship is completely different because you're concentrating on me and I feel that you are paying attention to me and to all my worries.
Yes.
And not to the computer.
Yeah. That sounds very interesting. And the patient feels that I am attended, or any person for that matter,
Any person.
feels that this attention is completely for me.
Any
And
person.
that brings out a sense of importance to that person. For that moment at least.
Of course. Medicine is just a part of society. I would say a very strong part of society. Because the medical doctor is has a crucial role in society. But it's a part of society.
Okay.
But it's a part of society that can show and teach the rest of society. That's why I say you have a privilege.
Yeah.
And it's very nice, your privilege. I sometimes think I would have loved to have been a doctor because it's a real privilege to help people at very fragile moments in their lives, vulnerable moments.